The 80th Airborne Assault Brigade shares footage of destroying a Russian mechanized convoy, including a Tiger armored vehicle and 3 BMPs near Oleshnya in the Kursk border area. The 80th Separate Galician Air Assault Brigade remains at the forefront of Ukraine's defense efforts. In recent operations within Russia's Kursk Oblast, the brigade executed deep penetration raids, disrupting enemy communications and capturing advanced T-90M tanks. Equipped with U.S.-supplied Stryker and M113 armored vehicles, the brigade has effectively countered Russian and North Korean infantry assaults. Their adept use of FPV drones has enabled precise strikes on enemy positions, including the interception of multiple reconnaissance drones. As a key component of Ukraine's newly established 8th Air Assault Corps, the 80th Brigade continues to adapt and excel in modern warfare, demonstrating resilience and strategic acumen on the battlefield. North Korean TV is already talking about the liberation of Russia's Kursk region from neo-Nazis. Meanwhile, Russian media report that North Korea may deploy its troops to occupied Ukrainian territories to fight against Ukrainian forces. Another unanswered escalation?
높은 전투 정신과 군사적 기질을 남김없이 과시하였으며
On a Russian propaganda channel, they showed how North Korean soldiers were being trained to fight against Ukraine. Russia is now openly showing the presence of North Korean soldiers and acknowledging their involvement in Ukraine for several key reasons. First, both regimes are increasingly isolated and see mutual support as strategically beneficial. Russia faces severe manpower shortages and mounting international sanctions, while North Korea seeks to demonstrate global relevance and deepen its alliance with a fellow authoritarian state. By openly cooperating, they signal defiance against the West and attempt to reshape geopolitical alliances. Unlike earlier in the war, when foreign involvement, especially from pariah states, was downplayed to avoid international backlash, Russia now embraces this partnership as part of its pivot away from the West and toward a coalition of anti-Western regimes. North Korea, in turn, benefits from field testing equipment, sending military advisors or support personnel, and possibly even combat units under the guise of volunteers. Their open involvement serves propaganda purposes for both states, helping project strength, unity, and ideological alignment in what they portray as a global struggle against NATO and Western influence. The U.S. and Ukraine are close to finalizing a minerals framework deal, with Ukraine securing a key concession from the Trump administration not to factor in past military aid. The deal is expected to be signed this week. Senator John Neely Kennedy on Putin: he broke every promise made to Trump. He wants to keep the territory he seized and stop Ukraine from joining NATO. He thinks we fear him. Putin has deceived Trump at every turn. The situation won't improve until we make it clear that we're ready to turn him and his country into fish food. I'm not talking nuclear weapons. I'd start with oil.
All right, joining us now, Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy. Senator, welcome back to Fox News Sunday. All right, let me start there. You hear that these attacks continue overnight, although President Trump has said to President Putin, you got to stop it, knock it off. There are brand new polling numbers that we've got out today that the American people do not think President Trump is handling this well. His job approval on handling Russia and Ukraine is at 36% and 39%, respectively. Is it foolish to think that Putin does want peace? And will he be emboldened if part of this deal includes giving him territory?
I think, Shannon, America is paying the price right now for President Biden's appeasement. The Biden people believed in diplomacy, first, last, and always. We're in a knife fight with Russia and China and Iran, and the Biden people wanted to quote Socrates to them. I see what you see. Here's what I see. Putin has reneged on every promise that he has made to President Trump. His latest proposal is, well, nothing. He wants to keep all the territory that he's taken. He wants to prohibit Ukraine from joining NATO, and he wants America and Europe to stop helping Ukraine. I think that Putin thinks that America has taken the bullet train to Chunktown. I think he thinks we're afraid of him. He has jacked around President Trump at every turn. He has disrespected our president. I don't think it's going to get any better until we make it clear to Mr. Putin that we are willing to turn him and his country into fish food. And I'm not talking about nuclear weapons or nuclear war. I would start with oil, which I will be glad to talk about if you want.
Well, and there has been some discussion. Obviously, there are sanctions on Russia, and it begs the question whether that's getting their attention, whether more sanctions will make more of a difference. I know that there are all kinds of things happening with where its oil ends up, and some of that's in violation of the sanctions. So do we need better enforcement against other countries that are violating that? Where do we go from here on getting Russia's attention?
Well, America, under President Biden, and Europe agreed that Russia can continue to sell its oil as long as they don't get more than $60 a barrel. Russia gets 1/3 of its revenues from oil. We need to stop all of the sales of oil. We need to get Russia down and choke them. They're not going to come to the table otherwise. I want a settlement in Ukraine. We also have to ask Europe to do better. Europe's got to start paying its own bills. If it wasn't for the American taxpayer, Putin would be in Paris right now. Europe's got to do more. But mainly, we've got to make Putin understand that there is a price to be paid for his jacking our president around.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to get that at this point. I want to ask you about Iran as well, because we just wrapped another round of talks with them.
The Ukrainian military has received a batch of high-explosive anti-tank mines produced in 2025 with a new electromechanical fuse. The Ukrainian military posted a video of the new engineered ammunition online. The new anti-tank mines structurally repeat one of the most common Soviet mines of the Russian-Ukrainian war, namely the TM-62 in a metal case. The weight of such a munition ranges between 9.5 and 10 kilograms, of which about 7.2 kilograms is accounted for by explosives. The original Soviet mine is fitted with TNT, or a more powerful TNT hexagen mixture, TG-40, but the filler of the Ukrainian mine is unknown. Given the shortage of explosives, they could have been fitted with a weaker mobilization TNT ammonium mixture used in artillery ammunition. The body of the Ukrainian mine has undergone minor modifications, including the addition of a side thread for an extra fuse, which is used to prevent deactivation after deployment.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.